My sister-in-law gave my daughter a phone as a gift. I found out she'd been texting her for months saying, "I wish you were my daughter." 3 weeks later, she tried to take her from school. And when that didn't work, she came for her at night. My sister-in-law Evelyn has always believed she was owed a child, and when she couldn't have one, she made it everyone else's problem. When my cousin announced her pregnancy at Easter dinner, Evelyn said, "Must be nice to not even have to try," loud enough for the whole table to hear. She made every baby shower about herself. She'd show up with a tight smile and say things like, "You're so lucky you get to use all these gifts. I have a whole nursery sitting empty at home. But this isn't about me. Today's about you. I'll just sit here and be happy for you like I always do." Nobody ever told her to stop because they felt too guilty. Then there was my daughter Amy. Evelyn had been cold toward all the other nieces and nephews, but for some reason she showered Amy with attention. Gifts every time she saw her. Special trips just the two of them. Treats she knew I didn't allow. She bought my daughter's love, and it worked. I didn't like it from the start. And I honestly had every reason not to because she went behind my back and did the one thing I told everyone in this family not to do. She even had the audacity to smile in my face after I called her out on it. But Evelyn didn't care about my rules. She only cared about making sure Amy loved her more than she loved me. Amy had been begging for a phone for months. She was too young, and the internet is not a safe place for kids, so I told her no. That didn't stop her from asking. She brought it up constantly. She cried about it more than once because her cousins had phones and her friends had phones, and she felt like the only kid in the world being left out. I explained to her that the internet was a dangerous place and she wasn't ready for it. She didn't care. She just heard no, and that was enough to make me the bad guy. I made sure everyone in the family knew where I stood. I told them at a dinner one night that Amy was not allowed to have a phone, and I would appreciate it if nobody gave her one or let her use theirs without my permission. Everyone nodded. They understood. I thought I had made myself clear. Then came my Mills birthday party. The whole family was there. Kids running around everywhere, food covering every counter, people packed into the living room and spilling out onto the patio. It was the kind of loud, chaotic gathering where you couldn't hear yourself think. I was sitting on the couch with my husband Henry, half listening to my father-in-law tell some story about a fishing trip, when Evelyn stood up from her chair across the room. "Everyone, I have an announcement," she said. All eyes slowly went to her. She stood there soaking it in, waiting until she had everyone's full attention before she started talking. "I just want to take a moment to talk about someone really special to me," she said. I remember feeling my shoulders tense. I don't know why. She hadn't done anything yet, but something about the way she was standing there, the way she was smiling, made my chest tight. "My niece Amy," Evelyn continued, "is the sweetest, most amazing little girl I have ever known. She is kind and funny and smart, and I feel so blessed to have her in my life." Amy was sitting on the floor near the TV. She looked up when she heard her name and smiled that big smile kids do when they're being praised in front of people. I should have felt warm. I should have been happy that someone was saying nice things about my daughter. But I wasn't. Something was wrong. I could feel it. "I love spending time with her," Evelyn said. "I love that she actually wants to hang out with me when some of the other kids couldn't care less." She laughed. A few people laughed with her. "She makes me feel really special." So I wanted to do something to make her feel special too. My smile was frozen on my face. I looked at Henry, but he wasn't looking at me. He was watching his sister like everyone else. "Now I know," Evelyn said, turning her head slightly in my direction, "that her mom can be a little strict sometimes." More laughter. My face felt hot. "But I think every kid deserves to be spoiled once in a while. And Amy deserves it more than anyone." She reached behind the couch. My heart started beating faster, and I didn't know what she was reaching for, but every part of me was screaming that I wasn't going to like it. When she stood back up, she was holding a box. A small rectangular box. White and shiny and unmistakable. A phone. I felt the strongest urge to punch her. "Amy, baby, come here," Evelyn said. "This is for you." Amy's eyes went wide. She scrambled off the floor and ran to Evelyn so fast she almost tripped. She grabbed the box and stared at it like she couldn't believe it was real. Then she screamed. Not a small scream. The kind of scream that fills a room and bounces off the walls. She ripped the box open right there and pulled the phone out and clutched it to her chest. Then she threw her arms around Evelyn and hugged her so tight. "Thank you, thank you, thank you," she kept saying. "This is the best present ever. I love you so much." "I love you too, baby," Evelyn said. She was looking right at me over Amy's shoulder, still smiling, eyes sharp. She knew exactly what she had just done. Everyone started clapping. My MIL had her hand on her chest saying how sweet it was. My FIL was nodding. The aunts and uncles were smiling like they had just witnessed the most heartwarming moment. Nobody looked at me. Nobody remembered the conversation we had just weeks ago. I sat there and said nothing, even though I wanted to walk over there and take the phone out of Amy's hands and ask Evelyn what made her think this was okay. I wanted to remind everyone in that room that I had specifically said no phones. I wanted to make a scene and embarrass her the way she was embarrassing me, but I didn't. Because Amy was so happy, everyone was watching, and I knew the second I opened my mouth, I would be the villain. The strict mom. The one who ruined a nice moment over something small. Evelyn knew that too. That's why she did it there in front of everyone where I couldn't say no without looking like the bad guy. So I clapped. I smiled. I played the part of the grateful mother whose daughter just got a nice gift from her loving aunt. But I wasn't grateful, and Evelyn wasn't loving. She was calculating. And the smug look on her face told me she thought she had gotten away with it. That I would just swallow my anger and move on because I didn't want to cause drama. But I wasn't going to let this slide. The second I got her alone, she was going to hear exactly what I thought about her little stunt. I followed after Evelyn when she went into the kitchen. "The phone," I said, wasting no time. "What was that?" Evelyn tilted her head. "Wasn't it great? Amy loved it. I told everyone a few weeks ago that Amy wasn't allowed to have a phone. You were there." She waved her hand. "Oh, come on, Blair. I figured you'd loosened up by now." "I didn't," I said. "You knew the rule and you broke it anyway." Evelyn sighed and crossed her arms. "Look, I didn't think it was that serious. She's been wanting one for so long and I just wanted to make her happy. Is that so wrong? Why didn't you ask me first?" "Because I knew you'd say no," she said like it was obvious. "And I didn't want to disappoint her." "She's my daughter," I said. "It's my decision." Evelyn flinched. Just barely. Like the word daughter physically bothered her. She recovered fast, but I caught it. "I know that. Then why are you acting like you get a say in how I raise her?" Evelyn's eyes went wide. "Wow. Okay. I give a kid a gift and suddenly I'm overstepping?" She shook her head slowly. "You know I can't have children. You know how hard that's been for me. And now you're standing here making me feel like a monster for wanting to spoil a little girl who actually wants to spend time with me. This isn't about that, isn't it?" she asked. "Because it feels like you're punishing me for loving her too much." "I'm not punishing you for anything. I'm telling you that you crossed a line." Evelyn laughed softly. "You know what I think? I think you're so obsessed with control that you can't stand seeing Amy happy with anyone but you. That's not true. She's 9 years old and you're buying her love with gifts. I'm not buying anything. She comes to me because she wants to. Because I actually listen to her." She smiled. "But sure. Keep telling yourself I'm the problem." She moved toward the doorway. I didn't step aside. "I'm not done," I said. "Well, I am." She brushed past me. "You should get back out there. Amy's probably looking for you. Or maybe she's looking for me." She walked out like the conversation meant nothing. I thought the phone was the worst of it, but it was actually a door to something worse. And Amy fell into that trap. It started with attitude. Then the secrecy. Then the things she said that didn't sound like her at all. My sweet girl was turning into someone I didn't recognize and I couldn't figure out why. I should have known it was because of that damn phone. The first thing I did when we got home from the party was sit Amy down and tell her we needed to talk about the phone. I told her she could keep it, but there were going to be rules. No using it after 8 p.m., no downloading apps without asking me first, no taking it to school. She looked at me like I had just told her Santa was giving her coal for Christmas. She started crying and saying it wasn't fair, and that I always ruin everything. I told her these were the rules, and if she couldn't follow them, then the phone would be taken away. She stormed off to her room and slammed the door. A few minutes later, she came back out and said, "Aunt Evelyn was right. You really do need to loosen up." I didn't let that slide. I told her she doesn't get to speak to me that way. I told her if she slammed another door in this house, the phone would be gone before she could blink. She started to argue, and I cut her off. I said, "I'm not asking you, I'm telling you." She didn't like it, but she backed down. I wasn't going to let a 9-year-old run my house because someone handed her a phone and told her she was special. But even with the rules in place, things started changing. She was on that phone constantly, at breakfast, during dinner, right up until I told her to put it away for bed. She'd sit on the couch with her head down, fingers tapping away, giggling at things she wouldn't show me. When I asked who she was texting, she'd say no one. When I asked to see what was so funny, she'd lock the screen and say it was private. I took the phone from her a few times when she got too secretive. She threw fits every single time. I grounded her twice in 1 month, which was more than I had grounded her in her entire life. Then came the attitude. She started talking back in ways she never had before, rolling her eyes, sighing like everything I said was exhausting, and the things she said started sounding off. She told me once that I was obsessed with control. Another time she said I didn't know how to let people be happy. These weren't her words. 9-year-olds don't talk like that. She started comparing me to Evelyn constantly. "Aunt Evelyn lets me stay up late. Aunt Evelyn doesn't make me eat vegetables. Aunt Evelyn says kids should be allowed to express themselves. Aunt Evelyn this. Aunt Evelyn that." It was like everything I did was wrong and everything that woman did was right. And then I realized where all this was coming from. Amy left it on the kitchen counter when she ran to the bathroom. The screen lit up with a notification. I wasn't going to look. I really wasn't. But I saw the name. Evelyn. And the message said, I wish you were my daughter. You can call me Mom if you want to. My heart fell to my butt. I immediately grabbed her phone and went through her messages. Evelyn telling Amy that I was too hard on her, how she's the only one that understands her. Evelyn even told her to delete their texts so I wouldn't find out, and Amy responded to all of it, laughing when Evelyn called me the Wicked Witch of the West, telling her that she wishes she could move in with Evelyn, asking her for advice instead of coming to me. It all made sense now. The attitude, the secrecy, the phrases that didn't sound like her, the way she looked at me like I was the enemy. Evelyn had been in her ear this entire time, turning her against me message by message. Amy came back from the bathroom and saw me holding her phone. She immediately looked scared. What are you doing? That's my phone. You can't just go through my stuff. I can do whatever I want. I'm your mother. I held up the screen so she could see the messages. You want to explain this? She knew exactly what I was looking at. That's private, she said. You had no right to read that. You've been texting Evelyn behind my back. She told you to call her mom. She told you to delete your messages so I wouldn't find out. My voice was shaking, but I kept it steady. You're never seeing her alone again. And this phone is gone. No. She tried to grab it and I stepped back. You can't do that. She gave it to me. I don't care who gave it to you. It's done. I hate you, she screamed. You're the worst mom ever. I wish Aunt Evelyn was my real mom. I want to live with her. I stood there and let her scream. It hurt more than I expected. But I didn't back down. Evelyn had been whispering poison into my daughter's ear for weeks, and I was going to put a stop to it whether Amy liked it or not. I thought taking the phone would be the end of it. I thought cutting off their secret conversations would stop whatever Evelyn was trying to do. But taking something away from Evelyn only made her want it more. She wasn't the type to back down. She was the type to push harder. And when she couldn't get to Amy through a screen anymore, she decided to get to her in person. I was at home when my phone rang on a Wednesday afternoon. I didn't recognize the number, but something told me to pick it up. Hi, this is Mrs. McCarty from Amy's school. I'm calling about your daughter, the voice said. I instantly got worried. Is she okay? Did something happen? She's fine, Mrs. McCarty said. But there's a woman here trying to pick her up. She says she's Amy's aunt and that you sent her to get Amy early for a surprise. I just wanted to verify before I release her. What's her name? She said her name is Evelyn. I actually felt my blood run cold. Do not let her take my daughter. Do you hear me? Do not let that woman anywhere near Amy. Of course. I'll let her know we couldn't verify the release. I'm coming right now. Keep Amy in the office until I get there. Don't let her out of your sight. I hung up the phone and my legs gave out. I had to grab the kitchen counter just to stay upright. She went to the school. This wasn't about ice cream or spending time together. This was Evelyn trying to take my daughter behind my back. What was her plan? Take Amy for the afternoon and pretend it was innocent? Keep her overnight? Not bring her back at all? My mind was spinning. How far was she willing to go? What else had she been planning that I didn't know about? If Mrs. McCarty hadn't thought to call me, if she had just believed Evelyn's little story about a surprise, my daughter would be in her car right now, going God knows where, thinking it was all just fun with her favorite aunt. When I got there, Evelyn was still standing in the front office. She looked up when I walked in and had the nerve to smile at me. Blair! There you are. I was just trying to surprise Amy with some ice cream, but they wouldn't let me take her without your permission. She laughed like the whole thing was silly. Schools are so strict these days. I didn't laugh. I walked right past her to the front desk. I need to update my daughter's pickup list, I said to Mrs. McCarty. This woman is not allowed to pick up Amy, ever, under any circumstances. Put it in her file, highlight it. Whatever she says or whatever excuse she gives, she does not leave with my child. Evelyn's smile fell. Blair, come on. I was just trying to do something nice. You showed up at my daughter's school without telling me. I turned to face her. You tried to take her without my permission. That's not nice. That's insane. It wasn't a big deal. I just wanted to spend some time with her. You're not allowed to see her. My feet moved closer to her before I could stop them. Stay away from my daughter. Stay away from her school. Evelyn stared at me. Something flickered behind her eyes for just a second. Something cold. Then she blinked and it was gone. You're overreacting, she said softly. I would never hurt her. I love her. That's the problem. She didn't say anything else, just walked out of the office like she hadn't just tried to take my child from school without my knowledge. My whole body was shaking. Mrs. McCarty asked if I was okay and I couldn't even answer her. All I could think about was what would have happened if she hadn't called me. If she had just handed Amy over because Evelyn smiled and said it was a surprise. I would have never forgiven myself. When we got home, I sat Amy down at the kitchen table. Henry was already there. He had left work early after I called him in a panic about what happened at the school. Amy looked terrified. She knew she was in trouble. Did you know Aunt Evelyn was coming to pick you up today? I asked. She shook her head. Don't lie to me. Her face crumpled. She told me she might. She said she missed me and wanted to surprise me. And you were just going to leave with her without telling anyone? Henry's voice was sharp. She said not to, Amy whispered, then looked at me as she said if I told you, you'd ruin it like you always do. Those words hit me like a slap. Henry looked at me and I could see the anger building in his face. What else has she told you? Amy went quiet. She was picking at her fingernails and wouldn't look at either of us. I got up and grabbed her phone from where I had hidden it in the kitchen drawer. If she wasn't going to speak, these messages would speak for her. I unlocked it and started scrolling. Henry came around to look over my shoulder. That's when I saw them. Photos I hadn't noticed before buried in the message thread. A bedroom with pink walls and a white canopy bed. Stuffed animals covering the shelves. A closet full of clothes with the tags still on them. A desk with coloring books and art supplies arranged perfectly. What is this? I turned the screen to Amy. She wouldn't look at me. It's my room. Your room is upstairs. My room at Aunt Evelyn's house, she said quietly. She made it for me. Henry grabbed the phone from my hand. He was scrolling through the photos. His face was getting redder with each one. Then he stopped. Blair, look at this. He showed me the screen. Under one of the photos, Evelyn had written, "Your room is ready whenever you are. You don't have to wait for permission. If you ever feel scared or unsafe, just call me. I'll come get you. Day or night. I'll always come get you." I wanted to throw up. Henry's hand was shaking. She told you that you could leave whenever you wanted? He asked Amy. That you could just call her and she'd come get you? Amy nodded. She said she would be a better mom than you. That I belong with her. Henry put the phone down on the table. He looked at me and I could see it in his face. The realization. Evelyn wasn't just crossing boundaries. She was trying to replace me. She had been setting this up for months. The gifts, the trips, the phone, the messages. All of it was leading to this. A room waiting, clothes ready, an escape plan planted in my daughter's head. We blocked Evelyn's number. We told Amy she wasn't allowed to see her anymore, and that was final. Amy cried for days. She begged us to change our minds. She said we were being mean for no reason. Henry and I stayed firm. We had to protect her even if she didn't understand. But Amy wasn't just sad. She was furious. She stopped talking to us unless it was to say something cruel. At breakfast, she'd ignore me when I asked her questions. At dinner, she'd push her food around her plate and refuse to eat. When I told her to clean her room, she said, "You can't tell me what to do." One night, I asked her how school was, and she looked at me like I disgusted her. "I don't want to talk to you. Amy, I'm your mother. You need to show me respect." Aunt Evelyn said you don't deserve respect. She said you're mean and you don't care about me. Henry slammed his hand on the table. Enough. You don't talk to your mother like that. I don't care. You're both horrible. Aunt Evelyn is the only one who's nice to me, and you took her away. She was tricking you, I said. No, she wasn't. She loves me. You're just jealous because I love her more than you. That one hit me right in the chest. Amy saw it on my face and kept going. I hate living here. I hate both of you. I wish Aunt Evelyn was my real mom. I wish she could just come take me away. She ran to her room and slammed the door so hard the whole house shook. Henry looked at me. His face was pale. Neither of us said anything. We both knew Evelyn had gotten so deep into her head that we didn't even recognize our own daughter anymore. And the worst part was we had no idea how much worse it was about to get. The next few days were quiet. Too quiet. Amy stopped screaming at us. She stopped slamming doors. She just went to school and came home and locked herself in her room without saying a word. I should have known that wasn't a good sign. I should have realized that silence meant she was planning something. I woke up at 2 a.m. on Saturday. I don't know why. I just did. My eyes opened and I was staring at the ceiling and my heart was pounding like I had just run a mile. Something was wrong. I could feel it in my chest. In my bones. It was that feeling you get when you know something terrible has happened, but you don't know what yet. I sat up. Henry was asleep next to me. The house was silent. Too silent. I listened for Amy's sound machine that she always ran at night, but I couldn't hear it. I threw the covers off and got out of bed. My legs felt weak. I walked down the hall to Amy's room and opened the door. Her bed was empty. For a second, I just stood there staring at the blankets pushed to the side, at the pillow still dented from where her head had been, at the stuffed bear she slept with every night sitting on the floor like it had been tossed aside in a hurry. Amy? I said it quiet at first. Like maybe she was in the bathroom. Like maybe she was downstairs getting water. Amy? No answer. I ran to the bathroom. Empty. I ran downstairs. The kitchen was dark. The living room was empty. I checked every room, every closet, every corner. She wasn't there. Amy! I was screaming now. I didn't care if I woke up the whole neighborhood. Amy, where are you? Henry came running down the stairs. What's wrong? What happened? She's gone. Amy's gone. What do you mean she's gone? I mean she's not in her room. She's not in the house. She's gone. Henry ran back upstairs to check for himself. I stood in the living room with my hands shaking so bad I had to press them against my legs to keep them still. My mind was racing. Where would she go? Why would she leave? Did someone take her? Did she run away? And then I knew. Evelyn. I ran to the front door and threw it open. The street was empty. No cars, no people. Just the glow of the streetlights and the sound of my own breathing. I checked the driveway. Both our cars were still there. I checked the backyard. Nothing. Henry came back down. Her window. It's unlocked. She went out through her window. A chill ran down my spine at the realization. She didn't just leave. She snuck out. She planned this. Evelyn, I said. She's with Evelyn. You don't know that. Yes, I do. Where else would she go? Evelyn told her she'd be there day or night. She said she could be a better mom than me. She told her. My voice cracked. She took her. Henry grabbed his phone. I'm calling the police. I was already moving. I grabbed my keys off the counter and my purse and I was heading for the door. Where are you going? Henry asked. Evelyn's house. Blair, wait for the police. I'm not waiting. I turned to look at him. That woman has my daughter. I'm not sitting here waiting for someone to tell me what to do. I'm going to get her. I didn't wait for him to respond. I ran to the car and started the engine. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely grip the steering wheel. I backed out of the driveway too fast and almost hit the mailbox. I didn't care. I pressed my foot down on the gas and drove. Evelyn lived 20 minutes away. I made it in 15. Every red light felt like an hour. Every stop sign felt like torture. My mind wouldn't stop. What if Amy wasn't there? What if I was wrong? What if Evelyn had taken her somewhere else? What if she was already gone? What if I never saw her again? I couldn't breathe. My chest was so tight I thought I was going to pass out. I rolled down the window and gulped in air. The cold hit my face, but it didn't help. Nothing helped. My daughter was gone. My 9-year-old baby was gone, and I didn't know if she was safe. I didn't know if she was scared. I didn't know if she even wanted to be found. That thought hit me harder than anything else. What if Amy didn't want to come home? What if she looked at me when I got there and said she wanted to stay with Evelyn? What if I had lost her for good? No. I couldn't think like that. I had to focus. I had to get to her. Evelyn's car was in the driveway. I parked on the street and got out. My legs felt like they were going to give out, but I made myself walk. I made myself move. I walked up to the front door and I didn't knock. I pounded on it with my fist so hard my knuckles started to hurt. Evelyn, open the door. No answer. I pounded again. Evelyn, I know she's in there. Open the door right now. Still nothing. I tried the handle. It was locked. I looked around for another way in. A window, a side door, anything. I pounded on the door one more time. Evelyn, if you don't open this door, I swear to God. The door opened. Evelyn stood there in her pajamas looking at me like I was the crazy one. Like I was the one who had done something wrong. Blair? She yawned and rubbed her eye as if I had just woken her up. What are you doing here? For a second I thought I was wrong. But every light in the place was on. I looked past her into the house. Every light was on. She wasn't asleep. She had been waiting for this. Waiting for me to show up. And from the calm look on her face, she wasn't planning on giving me my daughter back without a fight. I had no idea how far gone she really was. I had no idea that the woman standing in front of me didn't see herself as the villain in this story. She saw herself as the hero. And that made her more dangerous than I ever could have imagined. I didn't wait for her to answer. I shoved past her and ran straight into her house. Amy! I was screaming so loud my throat hurt. Amy, where are you? I tore through the living room, the kitchen, the hallway. Evelyn was right behind me, but I didn't care. I took the stairs 2 at a time, nearly tripping, catching myself on the railing. I threw open the first door. Empty. The second. A bathroom. The third door. And there she was. Amy was sitting on the white canopy bed I had seen in the photos. The pink walls. The stuffed animals everywhere. The desk with art supplies. She was wearing pajamas I didn't recognize. New ones. She looked up when I burst in and her eyes went wide. Mom? I ran to her and grabbed her and pulled her into my arms. My whole body was shaking. Oh my God, Amy. Are you okay? Did she hurt you? I was running my hands over her face, her arms, checking for injuries, for anything wrong. I'm fine. Why are you here? Amy tried to pull away, but I held on tighter. Why am I here? Amy, you disappeared from your room. We didn't know where you were. We thought... My voice cracked. We thought something terrible happened to you. Evelyn appeared in the doorway. Her face was calm, but there was something fierce in her eyes. You need to leave my house, Blair. Leave? Are you insane? I stood up and moved between Evelyn and Amy. You took my daughter in the middle of the night. You kidnapped her. She didn't take me, Amy yelled from behind me, small but angry. I wanted to come here. I turned to look at her. Amy, you snuck out of the house at 2 in the morning. How did you even... I texted her. Amy's face was red. I got my phone from the drawer and I texted Aunt Evelyn and she came to get me because she actually cares about me. I was taken aback. She had planned this. Amy, you don't understand what's happening here. Yes, I do. Aunt Evelyn didn't take me. She saved me. You're just mad because I don't want to live with you anymore. Amy's voice cracked and tears started falling down her face. I stared at my daughter. She was defending her. She actually thought Evelyn was the hero in this. See? Evelyn's voice was soft behind me. She knows who really loves her. I grabbed Amy's hand. We're leaving. Right now. No, you're not. Evelyn moved into the doorway and blocked it with her entire body. She's staying here, with me, where she belongs. She belongs at home, with her family, with me and Henry. I tried to move forward, but Evelyn didn't budge. I am her family. I've been more of a mother to her than you've ever been. Evelyn's jaw was set. You're not her mother. You're her aunt. And you're sick. You need help. I could feel the panic rising in my chest. She was 6 years old the first time I knew. Really knew. We were at the park and she fell off the swings and ran straight past you to me. She wanted me to make it better. And when I held her, I realized she was supposed to be mine. That's when I understood. She wasn't meant for you. She was meant for me. Evelyn's voice was eerily calm. She said these things like they were facts. Like the sky was blue. Like water was wet. So you decided when she was 6 that my daughter belonged to you? Do you hear how insane that sounds? I was trying to keep my voice steady, but it was shaking. It's not insane. It's the truth. After that day, I started noticing everything. She smiled bigger with me. She laughed more. She chose to sit next to me at family dinners. She was choosing me. She knew who her real mother was, even if no one else did. Evelyn stepped closer. Her real mother is standing right here. I carried her for 9 months. I gave birth to her. I stayed up with her when she was sick. I taught her to walk and talk and read. Me. Not you. I pulled Amy behind me completely. You did those things, but you didn't do them right. You were too strict, too controlling. You suffocated her. I would have given her freedom. I would have let her be herself. Evelyn was advancing on us now. You would have spoiled her. You would have turned her into someone who thinks the world revolves around her. That's not parenting. That's manipulation. I backed up until we hit the wall. I gave her what she needed, what you refused to give her. And now she's finally home. Evelyn reached for Amy and I slapped her hand away. Don't touch her. She's my daughter. Evelyn screamed it right in my face. No, she's not. She never was. You latched onto a baby that wasn't yours and convinced yourself she belonged to you. I screamed back. I didn't convince myself of anything. She was supposed to be mine. Why do you think she always wanted to be around me? Why do you think she always chose me over you? Because she felt it too. That connection. That bond. Evelyn grabbed for Amy again, and this time she got her arm. Let go of her. I tried to pry her fingers off, but her grip was like iron. No. I've waited too long. I've been patient. I've done everything right. I made her this room. I bought her clothes. I prepared for her to come live with me. This is her home now. Evelyn yanked Amy toward her. This is kidnapping. This is insane. You told a 9-year-old to sneak out of her house in the middle of the night. I pulled Amy back toward me. I rescued her. She called me. She asked me to save her from you. What was I supposed to do? Leave my daughter in a house where she's miserable? Evelyn's face was red and covered in sweat. She's not miserable. You made her think she was miserable. You spent months planting that in her head. I was pulling as hard as I could, but Evelyn wouldn't let go. I didn't plant anything. I opened her eyes. I showed her what a real mother looks like. Evelyn yanked harder and Amy cried out. You're hurting her. Evelyn, you're hurting her. I could see the pain on Amy's face. Stop it. Both of you stop. Amy was crying between us. I'm not hurting her. I would never hurt my daughter. You're the one hurting her by trying to take her away from me. Evelyn's eyes were completely wild now. She's not your daughter. Say it. Say she's not your daughter. I was screaming in her face. She is. She's mine. I don't care what biology says. I don't care who gave birth to her. She's mine. I claimed her. I loved her. I prepared for her. That makes her mine. Evelyn pulled so hard we all stumbled into the hallway. I managed to get us to the stairs. Evelyn was clawing at me, at Amy, trying to pull her back. You can't have her. She's mine. Do you know what it's like to want something so badly it makes you sick? To watch everyone else get the one thing you can't have? I deserve this. I deserve her. You don't deserve anything. You're trying to steal my child. We were halfway down the stairs now. I'm not stealing her. She came to me. She wanted me. That means she's mine now. That means I get to be her mother. Evelyn grabbed the back of my shirt and yanked. You're delusional. You need to be locked up. I kicked back and hit her shin. She stumbled but didn't let go. Mom, please. Amy was sobbing. Please, just let me stay. I want to stay with Aunt Evelyn. No, absolutely not. I pulled Amy down the last few stairs. That's when the door burst open. Police, show me your hands. 3 officers rushed in with Henry right behind them. Police! Let go of the child! The first officer moved toward us fast. Evelyn was still holding Amy's arm. She looked at the officers with pure terror. No, you can't take her. She's mine. She finally came home to me. You can't take my daughter. Ma'am, release the child right now. The officer's hand moved to his belt. I can't. Don't make me let go. Please. She's all I have. She's the only thing I've ever wanted. She's my daughter. She's supposed to be with me. Evelyn was shaking all over. Ma'am, last warning. Evelyn looked at Amy. You're mine. You know that, right? You'll always be mine, no matter what happens. Then 2 officers pulled her hands off and she collapsed to the floor screaming, No, she's mine. Give her back to me. She's my baby. She chose me. She wanted me. That makes her mine. I grabbed Amy and pulled her away. Henry wrapped his arms around both of us. Evelyn was still on the floor being restrained and she was sobbing so hard she could barely breathe. She's mine. She was supposed to be mine. Please don't take my daughter away. The paramedics came and took Evelyn to a psychiatric facility. She was still crying about her daughter when they loaded her into the ambulance. Amy watched from Henry's arms and didn't say a word. The police took our statements. They said Evelyn would be evaluated and we'd hear from them soon. The drive home was silent. Amy sat in the back seat staring out the window like she was trying to process what just happened. For the next few days, she barely spoke to us. She'd eat her meals in silence and go straight to her room. I didn't push her. I figured she needed time to work through everything on her own. Then slowly she started asking questions. Why did Aunt Evelyn have a room for her? Why did she tell her to sneak out? Why did she say I was mean when I was just trying to protect her? Each question felt like progress, like she was starting to see the truth. A week later, she crawled into bed with me early in the morning. Her eyes were red like she'd been crying. Mom? She whispered. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I pulled her close and held her while she cried. I know, baby. I know. That's when I knew we were going to be okay. Especially because Evelyn got admitted to a psych ward.